Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to your seats. The show is about to begin.
You're pretty. Oopsie.
And just beat the devil out of them. We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
I need you to click over there. Can you guys hear me? Refresh. Oh, I heard myself. Sound! Yay! We have sound! Fucking fantastic! Oh my god, you guys. Well. Fuck you, Wednesday. Welcome back to Boss Kitty Live, my Littermates. I am Boss Kitty, and apparently we're a hot mess tonight. It was just an OBS glitch, and TK fixed it because he is a flipping rock star. Do you want my music to be lower than 45? Thank you. Okay, so we're back, and some of you are great with charades. Yes, we are making a washcloth today out of some cotton fiber yarn that I have. I was hoping, I have this delicious cotton yarn that I made a baby blanket out of, and I can't find it anywhere. So let's get through our introduction, and then I'll get you guys right into your dad joke. I know, you guys are the best. Seriously, I love all of you. TK is amazing. So, as promised, tonight we're going to go over some tutorials. I'm going to teach you guys how to knit in the round, and then we're going to go ahead and look at a lace pattern so that I can show you the pattern itself written out, but then we can go over the actual chart, and I can help you guys read that as well. Those were the two things that we said we were going to go over. And then if we have time, we'll end the evening with some spinning, you know, some nice chill spinning. It'll be great. BK is giving off the Wednesday Addams vibes. Thank you. I love this dress. It's one of my favorite dresses, and it's a little looser in the arms now, which is really great. And it's velvet. The collar is velvet. It makes me very happy. Yes, reading, knitting. That is what we're going to go over. This day was intense, Matt. Oh my God. I've been on a roller coaster all day long. Hot damn. Okay. So if you're new to the show, welcome. We will do a round of goodies and goof 'em ups in just 5 minutes. So you guys are going to get double whammied here, actually, because we're going to go right into a dad joke. If I can remember where those are. I believe they're in the wheel. No. Yes, they are. I just pushed the button, right, TK? Sure. Do I need to mute myself or anything? So let's just mute both of these. Hey, champ. I've got a joke for you. Why do you never see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're so darn good at it. There you go. One dad joke in the books. That's number 2. I got to remember that so I can mark it off later on. So I hope you loved it. You guys have about 4 minutes until our first round of Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. We're going to get just right into it. Yeah. So if you're not a subscriber yet, I promise this show is not generally a hot mess. It's usually a goofy hot mess. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button and chat it up with us. Coco, really? So yeah, they're something special. If you are a patron, actually, there is a link in our Patreon to our first dad joke, which was the pirate dad joke. Please feel free to check that out, obviously. We do have a few new patrons, and you guys aren't, as of today, you guys aren't up on the list yet, so I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to you at this time. Let's get some freaking stinking stuff done. DJ, spin that shit. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. No. I mean, I need you because I love you. Okay, so we're not going to start with the cotton. We're actually going to start with this lovely stuff that was once a sweater that I took apart because I didn't have enough to finish the sweater. I had high hopes. I don't even remember. It's just some really fluffy wool that I got when I was teaching classes at Starlight, which is a shop in Portland, Oregon. This will only work if I can find the end, guys. Okay, we know it's somewhere in here. This is what happens when you ball up yarn and then put it away somewhere. You lose ends. Especially when it's kind of a felty yarn, and this is definitely kind of a felty yarn. So we're going to start with, oh my god, a bunch of knotted yarn is what we're going to start with. We're going to go ahead and start with teaching you guys how to knit in the round. That was the very first thing people asked about, so that's what we're going to go ahead and begin this evening with. And you know what? Screw this. I don't have time for that noise. Goodbye. We're gonna go at it real hard here. I love you so much right now. Oh, thank you. You guys are fantastic. Okay. Thank you very much. TK put them together. I just made a goof out of myself, so I hope you guys liked them. Let's zoom in just a little bit more, maybe. Move our yarns around. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and knit in the round, which is going to take a fair amount of stitches for me to do on this, but it's the tiniest one I have, quite frankly. So I'm thinking like 50-ish should do it for us. So we're going to wrap around 50 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Technically, that's 50, but just in case, let's do another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's do another 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. So that's technically enough for 70 stitches if I'm feeling it. We're going to do a quick long tail cast on, which we taught you guys 2 weeks ago. Getting right down to business. So I'm just going to sit here and really quickly cast some stitches on. I highly doubt that I will get through 50 cast-ons in the next minute when we do our first round of Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. Did you know that one weight mohair is made in hell by the devil? Crochet hook. Depending on the mohair you have, absolutely. Marie, you finally named your kitten Wednesday. I love it. That's perfect. Okay, guys. I feel like the time has flown by. It's time for Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups, so this is going to be our first round. We're just going to go ahead and pop right in. Let me just come over here, do some legal stuff, and then we'll do some winter stuff, and it'll all work out, right? Not wooner, winter. Wiener. You hate trying to dye mohair. Brittany Michelle, let me double check real quickly. I need this. I need this mouse. Thank you. I'm very sorry. I have to get this up real quickly. Did we update show and tell, by the way? Oh, thank you. I think people have already started putting stuff in. I'll figure out where it's from. There's a new line. We're good. Yeah, we're mod admin chat. Just 1 second, Brittany Michelle. I have to just make sure of something. OMG. There it is. I don't think you're on this list. You're not. Congratulations. You are our first contestant on the Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. That's so exciting. Let's get the wheel up. Woo! Okay. Hello, Wheel. It's been all of 2 days since I've seen you last. How you doing? How are the kids? You don't have kids. I don't know why I asked that. Okay, if you're new, this is our wheel. Thank you, TK, for such a beautiful wheel. And it's got a lot of stuff on it. Seriously, some of it is random, silly stuff like that dad joke you just saw. Some of it's pretty cool. I mean, we've got merch codes on there where you get free stickers and buttons. We've got Blinky Rolls where you might win some free yarn. We've got Game Over, unfortunately. Yarn Tarot, free shipping. Ravelry patterns over at Ravelry for like $10 and $5. It's all over the place. And Magic Animal Sounds, of course. Oh my gosh. Oh, so can you give me those names again? Gothy, Moraver, Lily Chan, and AJ. You all put stuff in show and tell. Thank you so much. TK is resetting show and tell because it was from Monday. So once he has it reset, go ahead and put those back in there, please. We really want to see your guys' projects. Okay, Brittany Michelle, I'm going to spin this wheel for you. Sue, that is a great question. Ravelry pattern for $5. Congratulations, Brittany.
Congratulations, you're a winner.
All you need to do is message me on Discord with your Ravelry username and which pattern you want. It needs to be $5 less, and I will gift it to you. Super, super easy. Thank you so much for being a subscriber and for supporting the channel. We really appreciate it. We will see you in half an hour.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's see. Somebody had a question. Glad I could be here for the beginning of his stream finally. We're glad you're here too, Pandit. Sue, so I'm using size 7 needles, and there's really no particular length I'm going for. Oh, the new show and tell is up. I believe they're size 6. It's a size 16 cable. I don't have anything smaller than that currently. Normally I would use this for making like my slouchy hats and stuff like that. I do a lot of magic loop, but I didn't want to jump right into magic loop. I thought you guys might want to start with just basic knitting in the round. So the difference between knitting in the round and knitting flat is clearly you knit a tube in one scenario, and in the other you're knitting back and forth on each side. So pros to knitting in the round. If you hate purl stitches and you're doing stockinette, if you're knitting in the round, you're only ever knitting the front of your garment or item. So you generally don't have to do purl stitches unless it's like some wonky pattern that calls for it. Let's see. It's much easier to not lose your space, to not go the wrong way, right? You don't have to flip your stuff around all the time. It just keeps going in a circle. Downsides to knitting in the round. You can twist your yarn before you join, which kind of, I mean, that's cool if that's what you want it to look like, which for some cows that works. But a lot of times that's not what people are going for. What else? Sometimes you end up with jogs, and that's where you join isn't tight enough and you have like a little ladder in between the two. That's definitely an issue for some people. Let's see. It makes your yarn, your project a little bulkier and a little more awkward to stick in your project bag. I love working with circular needles. Little Brat, me too. Oh my gosh, they're my favorite. I have no idea how many stitches I'm putting on at this point. I haven't counted. I know I said 50 or 70 or something like that. It really doesn't matter. I just need enough to get myself around this whole thing. We'll see if this works. If it doesn't, then we'll have to fake it till we make it. I mean, it doesn't have to be pretty, right? It's just to teach you guys this. You never lost a needle when you knit in the round. That's true, Coco. Well, unless they unscrew from your cable. If you have interchangeable needles, that's still possible. But yes, normally you don't lose a needle when you're knitting in the round. So you don't have an extra needle that you have to hold on to, right? You can see these all go right across this cable right here, right? It's the cord. It's the cord on the end of the needles. Hi, Fiendcraft. How are you? You do just need to participate in chat. That is absolutely correct. Because here's the thing, if you're a subscriber, you can't chat it up with us unless you're a subscriber to the show. So as a subscriber, you chatting it up, that's how Nightbot knows that you are eligible to play the game. I think we're pretty damn close. I think maybe 5 more and I'll feel comfortable with this. Sure, that sounded like 5 more. Okay, so we've got all our stitches on here. Let's say I counted them and this is the exact number of stitches I need. Okay? No, I lied. Let's just go right down to the end of this nubbin. Don't ever do this. Don't ever leave a wee tiny little tail. You want enough to weave in, guys. If you get down to it and that's what you've got left, like personally, I would restart my work just because I don't want to finish whatever I'm making, go to weave in my ends and not have enough of a woven in end to secure it. You know, I don't want it to come out later. In this case, you'd probably be fine because it does kind of felt on itself. So it probably wouldn't be an issue, but generally speaking, give yourself a little more than that. Your boyfriend is snoring loud next to you while watching you hot skinny. Hi, Marie's boyfriend who's snoring. I know you can't hear me right now. Maybe if I say this like while he's sleeping, stop snoring. Stop snoring. Does that work if I just say that over and over again? Do you think he'll stop snoring? You just bought some knitting cables. You're so excited to learn this tonight. I'm excited for you. Okay, so we have all these lovely stitches on here, right? Now, remember when I said that they can get twisted? What happens when your stitches get twisted is you end up with a twist in your knitting, right? You can get one of those like Mobius cowls that has a twist and it's very fancy looking. It was all the rage in like the early 2000s, late 90s. Still cute, but you don't want that for a sweater, right? You don't want that for gloves or whatever. So you got to make sure that your stitches aren't twisted. And there's an easy way to do that, although it does still happen. So don't fret. Do you see this rib down here? It's like the spine. I like to think of it as the spine of my knitting. It is the bottom of my knitting, right? Like that's the bottom of my cast on stitch. You want to make sure you just kind of follow this spine down. Make sure that the spine is in one straight line at the bottom, all the way across. Just keep checking, keep checking. Just keep making sure that it's not twisted around here. And I'm going to show you what a twisted spine would look like. So this one's good. I can hold it up like this. I can see that spine all the way across, right? Yeah. So I would be able to join this. Now, if this was twisted, let me put a twist in here somewhere. We're checking our spine. We're checking our spine. It looks great. Oh my gosh, it's so perfect, right? La 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 la. La 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 la. And then I get here, right here. And I mean, these are still down on the bottom, so it must be fine, except for I'm following this side right here. And if I follow this spine, it comes up behind, it comes over, and then comes back down. That's a twist. That's what you want to get rid of. And all you have to do is turn these back the right way until your spine is back on the bottom, nice and straight. The only thing in life you really want straight. Okay, so that is nice. Spine's where it belongs. You're going to have your yarn, the needle with your yarn on it is going to be in your left hand. Okay, so we're right here. You're going to try to bring as many of these stitches forward as you can. There we go, just like that. So we've got our yarn in our left hand, which means we're wait, no, I lied. Yarn's in the right hand. Turn this around. Ooh, Nelly. Your yarn is in your left hand. So the needle with the yarn, it's your working needle, it's in the left hand. That's where you want it. I'm sorry for that. Make sure your stitches are up here like so. You're going to work on the left needle. You're going to work the stitches on the left needle. But you're going to work with the yarn that's on the right needle, right? And what that's going to do is it's going to join this stitch right here to this stitch right here. So I'm going to come in here, knit this first stitch, like so. There we go. And your first row is going to be a little tight. As you continue, this gets much looser and bigger, so it's on there much better. And then you just knit the next one. You've joined at this point. That's the join right there. And you just go ahead and knit. Now, if you have an issue with your stitches being twisted, there are tricks around that. You can knit flat for a row or two and then do the join. It's much easier to see that spine and see where the bottom of your yarn is, of your of your project is and make sure it's not twisted on there. A lot of people will do that. And then they'll just mattress stitch those two rows together usually. So that's an option. I just like to live on the edge personally. It's who I am. I can't help it. It's gonna look funky here for a few rows. It's gonna look like you've got a jog, and you might the first few times, and that's okay too. But that will even itself out as well, because remember, that's how knitting works, right? It just evens itself out. Swollen lymph nodes. Oh no! Have you ever heard of lymphangitis? No, I have not. I had laryngitis a few years ago. Actually, I ended up not being able to do the show for 2 weeks because of it. I had never had it so bad that I didn't have a voice, but I couldn't even cry. Like, nothing came out. Why, thanks, story time. I'm gonna make some spicy noodles. Spicy. They sound delicious. Tina, you'll have to watch the dad joke on the VOD. Your brother caught a cricket to take outside, and it was right at the joke. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Crochet Hook. Yeah, I hope you feel better. That's miserable. You had lymph node in front of your right ear removed due to swelling and pushing on a vein. Oh, that's... I'm glad that they were able to remove that for you, though. So yeah, this is, and now you're just knitting normally, right? Like you're just knitting these stitches like it's no big deal. You look fancy because they're in the round. We're going to do at least a row or two of this just so you can see what it's going to look like. Hi, Winter Nightmare. It has been a while. How are you? It's good to see you. It's going to be feeling like -15 to -25 there on Friday. What? That's nonsense. Rosie Posey, how are you doing today? So, just while we're sitting here, we can do some quick chit chat. Getting started on those final pieces for the grab bags on, when am I starting those? Tomorrow and Friday, so that they're ready by the 13th. Remember, if you want a grab bag, they're 3 skeins of yarn for $65, and they're all kitty. Most 99.9% are kitty glitter, BKDK kitty glitter, or are blanks that are going to be like ombres and speckled gradients and funky artistic stuff, whatever I decide I'm feeling that day. So it's a great deal. You don't get to know the yarn you get. It's a blind box, which is also really exciting because it means that you are forced to use stuff that's outside of your comfort zone sometimes. And that can be really, really great, right? Like, who did that just recently? Knitcraft is making a top for, I think she said her sister-in-law, I don't remember, but she's absolutely in love with the colorway that she's using, and it's one of her blind box ones. She's like, I never would have purchased this colorway for myself, but oh my god, it's so much fun. And that's what happens. Eska, yes, grab bags for your birthday. Winter Nightmare, you're very tired and overworked. Oh, you poor thing. I'm sorry. I feel that. You know, and it's not even that my job is taxing. That's really funny since I work for the Department of Revenue that I said taxing. No, it's just life, right? Like adulting, all of the stuff that you have to do as an adult. That's what feels taxing and exhausting. It's not so much my job. It's I've got to do these things. I've got to do these things. I've got this stuff for the business, which is great. And I love the business. It's just a lot, right? You stop for a second and you're like, man, when did my life just start to revolve around boring adult work stuff? It sucks. Which is why it's so fun and exciting when I get to hang out with you guys, because none of this is boring, boring, dumb adult work stuff. Late, but you made it. Hello, Michaela. How are you? Saturday is going to be 63, but freezing at night. That's insanity. So it was like 25 degrees on the reg here for like 2 weeks, I'd say. What do you say, TK? Yeah? And then it's going to be mid-50s, high 50s this weekend, I think is what I read. My body can't keep up. I'd love to continue to dip, but my cat Whiskey has other plans tonight. She's being naughty and getting into things she knows I have to get up to chase her away. That's okay, little brat. No worries. You know, just chill, have a good time. If you can knit, great. If you can't, there's always the VOD. You can go back to this. You can't do below 60. Goth emo, I feel the same way. Like, listen. I mean, I like really cold weather as long as I'm inside and I'm all bundled up, right? With like 8 blankets. But honestly, between, I'm gonna go a little lower than that. I'm gonna say between 55 degrees and 75 degrees. That is my bracket. You stick me in weather, and that's, I grew up in Portland. That used to be pretty average for Portland, Oregon. You stick me in that bracket, I'm golden. I am happy. I am a kid in Candyland. Give me rain during that time, and I'm even happier, quite frankly. There have been more than one occasion where I have run outside in a bathing suit to dance in the rain. Not as a child. I mean, as a child too, but that wasn't the last time I did it. Bring me all the negative 60. You'll take it. Oh, was it? Yeah. Negative. That's a lot. Anything over 30s is too warm. Oh my gosh, Emily. How do you do it? How were your bones not like little ice sticks? You've just finished the Star Wars Lego set and you already miss it. Aw. You only have a few rounds left with the cal you're making for your best roommate, but now you don't have anything simple to work on for your dentist waiting room tomorrow. Boo. Do you have any socks you're working on? Got any stocks you can start? What's going on for the 13th? Kelly, what a great question. So, behind me, behold, all of this beautiful yarn right here, and some of the yarn that's over here too, but mostly this. We're doing grab bags. Most of this is throwback from the Toil and Trouble box set. There's a box of BKDK kitty glitter. And then I have some blanks, some knitting blanks, yarn blanks that I will be dyeing up like different colors, ombres and fades and speckled gradients, and I don't know. It's just going to be a surprise. But the way that the grab bags work is that it's 3 skeins of yarn for $65. You don't get to know what they are though. Those are going to go on sale on February 13th at the start of the show, but they're only going on sale for the first 48 hours to our patrons. So if you want to hop on that train, head over to patreon.com/bosskitty. Any tier will do. And those are very much a once they're gone thing, right? So I'll be honest, normally those sell out during that first 48 hours. Occasionally we'll have 2 or 3 left over, but they will, if there's anything left, they will go on sale to the public when we start the show on Wednesday. That's how we set this up. I was like, oh, that's really clever, TK. Good job. He's a smarty farty. Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, that smells.
Is that in Celsius or Fahrenheit? You're good at 75-degree weather, but for you, your lemon and orange trees are... okay, yeah. Marie, yeah, I don't have any of those. I'm lucky if my lavender grows. No, the 13th for you guys, Michaela, and then the 15th for the rest of the world. A couple of years in Iowa, you had -54 for a couple days, and you walked to work. Holy shit. Do I do any Pride Month releases? You know what? That is such a great question. No, we don't generally. There are times we've donated some funds from box sets and things to like the Trevor Project and things like that, or we did a one for trans girls of color, basically, I think a few years ago. But the reason for that is because I don't like the idea of marketing off of the LGBT community. I don't vibe with that personally. I know it works for some people, and for some people that's great. For me, I see like big stores do that, and it just makes me uncomfortable. So I've never done anything in that case, but we certainly are here to celebrate for sure. That's a great question though. Your four-year-old farted at the same time. Oh my gosh, we're fart twins. But you know what, Jinxie? Maybe we could do something in the future. I'd have to think on how to do it without losing income and still being able to celebrate without feeling like I'm taking advantage of something that I have no right to take advantage of. You guys, canned apples? Oh, that sounds delicious. I made apple butter once from the apples on our tree. One time. You thought it was something to do with the Doctor Who boxes. Doctor Who boxes are going to be released on May 19th. And that, again, is to the... so we'll do the early release party for the Doctor Who boxes on May 19th. And that'll be for the patrons. And then they'll be released to everybody else the following Sunday, which is the 21st. Those... While the 48-hour thing is really great, and it's first come, first serve for those, right? So those ones go out first. We do pre-orders on the box sets to a degree as well, although we almost sold out of the pre-orders last time. So that's not quite the same intensity as far as that goes. But just a heads up, on those box sets, by the way, and I am saying box sets in plural, we are doing 2 boxed sets for Doctor Who. We're doing a boxed set that is just dedicated to the Doctors. And then we're doing one that would be companions, monsters, everything else in the Doctor Who world, basically. I don't know yet how many skeins will be in each one of those. Probably 5 or 6. That's pretty normal for us. There will be at least 1, if not 2, patron-exclusive skeins that you can, as a patron, purchase, much like the Toil and Trouble box set. So just keep that in mind. We're going really big with this one for multiple reasons. Number 1 is Doctor Who. Number 2, it's the 60th anniversary. Number 3, it might be the only box set we do this year because we might have something else going on in the fall. We're going to find out. So just keep that in your noggins. You guys have 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 7. No, yeah, 7 minutes until the next round of Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Up. So make sure that you have pushed the little subscribe button and that you've pushed the like button. I guess you don't have to, but really it would make my day and all my dreams come true. And then, yeah, chat it up with us because then you're eligible for all of our shenanigans. Do I have any tips for those wanting to start their own business? Fiendcraft. Oh, man, that is a great question. Hot damn. Today is an interesting day for you to ask me that. Yes, I do. I have lots of tips for people who want to start their own business. Mostly, I would say, really sit and think about whether or not whatever it is that you do that you love, if you feel like you can make that something that consumes most of your life, right? Like where it's no longer a hobby and something that you make your own timeline for. It is something where you have to have things done by a certain time. There is expectation there. It kind of becomes a chore to some degree. There are days where I feel completely burned out on dyeing yarn, on knitting, on crocheting, all of it. Everybody wants to walk away and I can't walk away from it, right? But I get through those and 6-7 years later, I still love it. So I feel lucky in that. But that would be the biggest thing, is make sure of that first. Other than that, depending on what you're doing, if you're doing it digitally online, pictures are your best friend. You can have the most beautiful item for sale and nobody is going to buy it if your pictures aren't quality. And you don't have to spend a ton of money for your pictures to be quality. You can get a little light box. Amazon carries them. You can actually make one. There's a lot of DIY ways to make them. And quite frankly, most cell phones anymore have a better camera on them than fancy ass digital cameras. So check what type of camera you have on your phone. You should be able to probably use that. It usually just comes down to lighting and that box in your background, but you really want to make sure that those pictures look excellent because that's what people see when they go there, and that's what's going to sell the item for you. So that's my biggest piece of advice. Those 2 things. I'm sure I have more, but that could take hours. Right now you're watching The Witcher. I haven't watched Witcher yet. Here's TK's advice. Come on over here. For every $100 you make, hold on, this is important apparently. 25. So 25% needs to go in the bank and be left alone. It'll cover your taxes. He's actually not wrong about this. That'll cover your taxes. It's going to cover any extra pieces that you might need where you're like, oh crud, this piece that I use all the time died and I need a new one. It'll cover all of that. It's a nice little rainy day fund to have. And then also, you know, at the end of the year after your taxes are paid, you can take the profit that you have for that and put it towards yourself, which is kind of nice. Or leave it there. So that's like 25%. Yeah. And that's before you pay anything off. Like that's before your bills for the business. That's before buying more inventory, whatever it is. 25% off the top. Oh, really? Okay, I lied. He says 25% should go. That's the 25% off, and then 25% should eventually, but in the beginning, you can't really do that. You should plan for and have the goal of 25% goes into the bank for what I just talked about. Then 25% of what's left goes to you for your bills, for whatever you want to spend it on. If you want to go get a mani-pedi, go for it. But that way you feel like your business is actually doing something for you. And then 50% of whatever's left, at least, should go back into the business. Early on, obviously, that's not the case, but that should be the goal. Wow, what a lot of information. I know, right? TK, get a mic. He used to have one. He used to do haikus, and I miss it. And get yourself a TK. Yes, get yourself TK. You're going to invest in a phone holder that has a ring light on it, and you're hoping that will help. Yes, absolutely, that'll help. Seriously, Fiendcraft, I cannot tell you how many stupid flipping lights or stands are in my house. And we don't use them all. I mean, some of them, we use most of them, and others we use for certain things so they get stored. But oh my God, there's so many stands. I trip on stands all the time. And I'm very much, it's funny, this is one of the things that TK and I are very opposite on. I'm very much a get rid of everything that you haven't used in 6 months person. And he's not a hoarder. He is he likes to keep things though. And most of the stuff that he wants to keep is pretty smart to keep. But I feel like he keeps it longer than he should. So we kind of have to meet somewhere in the middle because I get rid of things way too easily and then I regret it later when I actually need that item. And sometimes he holds on to things too long. How much are the Doctor Who boxes? Kelly, that is a great question. I don't know yet. Generally, our 5 skein boxes are around $150 normally. It depends on what type of yarn is in there. It depends on how many skeins are in there. So I know that the Toil and Trouble sets went from anywhere from $150 to $185, depending, because there was the kitty glitter set as well that had the extra patron skeins in it too. So it's really going to depend. Clearly, that with 2 box sets, you have the option to buy one or both of them, but it would cost that for each one. You're a Marie Kondo person too. Thank you. You have 2 production studios and one of them is in your house. You think your boyfriend is trying to keep you cold in your bedroom? He has the fan going. He's nuts. Turn that fan off. Even if you don't have a business, you guys still have to do your own taxes. Okay, Trina. So we don't do our own taxes. We have somebody do our taxes for us, but I do our books and I hate doing books. So I do QuickBooks and I can't stand it. So I always procrastinate on it. I'm going to go back because I sat here and chatted it up with you guys and missed the whole point of this. And then we're going to go straight into Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. I know it's time, but I do want to show you this to you guys. So this is our join right here, right? And it looks like it's pretty loosey-goosey. Like there's this huge ladder here and you would be concerned about that. You don't need to be concerned about that. But I would recommend at this point grabbing a stitch marker. You'll need this because it's going to look so good and so even and you won't even know where the beginning and the end is. So this stitch marker will tell you. But watch what happens. I know I said that we'd go into it as soon as I finished. Oh, it's fingering weight. I'm sorry. The yarn that will be in the Doctor Who box set will be fingering weight yarn. Get a mic, TK.
You're pretty. Let's move on.
But you can see just after that second row right there, you can't even tell that gap is completely gone. So don't worry about it if you see that gap at first. In the meantime, time for the Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups, kiddos. Let's do this. I have not finished my Le Pouf yet. These noodles are spicy. Spicy noodles are the best noodles. You used to hobby sell soap and bath products. You miss... you miss it. Yeah, absolutely. I had to approve your message, Emily, because it had fingering weight in there. Oh, Panda, thank you so much. TK made those stitch markers for me, actually. He made a series of stitch markers for a while there that were all polyhedral dice sets. And then we stopped making them. T. Lambert, congratulations. You are our second contestant on the Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. Whoa, what? No, open. There you are, Wheel. What the heck was that about? Okay. Definitely Yarn Pirate. Okay, so this is our wheel. You guys know what this looks like. It's got good stuff on it. It's got bad stuff on it. Let's just get to the spinning. Here we go, T. All for you. So excited for you. Oh my gosh, it's a Blinky roll. Congratulations.
Congratulations, you're a winner.
What was that? Oh, yeah. How are your stitch markers holding up? Okay, so we'll see you in half an hour. Thank you so much. Goodbye. So this is Blinky right here. I'm not even going to use this. We're just going to do it straight here on the ground. The way that this works, and a lot of you haven't seen this. This is Blinky. Blinky's called Blinky because when you roll a natural 20, he blinks. They blink. These are the yarns that you will have to choose from. If I roll a natural 20, T, you win a skein of yarn. We'll pay the shipping on it and everything. And these are the 3 skeins I have. Oopsie, As You Wish, and Time You Why Me. I took the skein of Bruiser away because it's not available right now. So those are your 3 options right there. And they're all DK weight. So let's do this. Oh my gosh, it would be so nice. I just need a natural 20. It's been so long, you guys. That's a 7. That is not a natural 20. I don't know why Blinky hates me so much. T, I'm so sorry.
Game over.
But thank you so much for being a subscriber. Thank you for being part of the Boss Kitty family. We adore you. And the plus side is it means that you can play again on Monday. So that's always good. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys. Things are just flying by. Do you know what time it is?
It's time to stretch.
Okay, it's time to stretch, my loves. I don't know if I can do this in this dress. You've never worked with a hank before. Story time, it's easy. You just got to get balled up. This used to be a hank. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go straight into our stretches. If you don't stretch with me, that's totally understandable, but I think it'll make you feel lots and lots better. So my lower back is actually hurting these days, and that's because I'm standing at my standing desk and I've been doing a lot of walking. And my hips don't like it very much. So there's not a lot I can do while sitting down on that, but there are stretches that I can do for my lower back later. So I'll take care of that later. But for now, let's go ahead and just go into our neck stretches. We're going to turn our neck to the right and then hold it with your hand. You can hold it with either hand. I like to hold it with the hand that I'm on, but make sure that you're sitting up straight while you do this and that your shoulders aren't hunching up. You don't want that. You want your neck to be relaxed. Be nice, Blinky. I love timey-wimey and BKDK. It's like so gorgeous. And we're going to turn the other way. Just like so. Oh, it feels so good. I'm going to roll it out a little bit. And then we're going to do kind of the same thing. We're going to pull our head to one side. And pull on our forehead. Just like that. It feels nice. Just relax. Maybe Blinky can relax too and stop giving us shit-ass rolls. And we're going to come to the other side. Oh, so good. So story time. If you decide to ever buy a hank, if you have a local yarn shop, they will sometimes cake those for you. They'll ball them up for you. If not, I recommend at the very least getting an umbrella skein. You don't have to get a ball winder. You can just get an umbrella skein and then hand wind it from there. Okay, we're going to pull our hand out forward like so. We're going to bring it across just like that. And this is going to help with our back and our shoulders. I should have a backup number from Blinky. We've talked about having opposite day where it's a natural 1 instead. You went to the chiropractor yesterday and they had to push your hip back into place because you had to locate it. Oh my gosh, that's awful. I'm terrified of chiropractors. I've never been. It's been recommended to me a few times, but I've never been to one. Okay, so we're just stretching across. Feels so good. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and stretch our hand and our under forearm, just like so. Ball winders are game changers, as are Swifts. You dislocated it. Perfect, and we're going to do the other one. Oh, I'm glad that they fixed it for you, though. That's good. So I I screwed up a bunch of nerves and stuff in this elbow years and years and years ago, and it bugged me for years. And then I had to go to San Diego Comic-Con. To work as a vendor for the comic shop I was working at. And I didn't want to have to set up a booth and everything with a bum elbow. So I went and saw an acupuncturist, and it was night and day, and I have not had problems with that elbow since. That's not true. Occasionally, it still goes numb every now and then. And when it goes numb, and so you want to flop your hand forward and just push down gently on it. When it goes numb, it goes real numb. Like if I'm holding something out to the side, like a cast iron skillet, and it goes numb, I will drop the cast iron skillet. I don't have a choice. You have a bad tech neck right now. For real, I feel that. Seriously, I have a little hump that shows up from time to time. Okay, so we've done that. I'm not going to go this way tonight. I've already done this once today, so we don't have to do it again. We're going to go straight into our fingers. That's nice. So nice. Tonight might be a full tutorial night. There might not be any spinning tonight, you guys, because we're already at the halfway mark. They really are, Matt, like magic. TK used to deliver beer to bars and restaurants and stuff, right? So he had to pick up these huge kegs of beer and take them in, right? And this is before I knew him. And at one point, TK, you can tell me if I'm wrong here, but he dropped one on his, or had one drop off of his shelf onto his shoulder, just dead weight right onto his shoulder, and it screwed up the connection there. And when I met him, he couldn't raise his arm above, I want to say, his nose, pretty much. And he had he couldn't bring it up straight on that side. It wasn't very noticeable, but he was always in a lot of pain and everything. Saw an acupuncture. No, he didn't see an acupuncturist. He had cupping done, and they brought, where they bring all the blood to that area. Fix the problem. It was insane. I have no idea. Okay, so go ahead and shake it out. We are good with our stretches. So you guys see how this works then, right? That this is how you knit in the round. And you would just continue to go like this over and over and over again. So instead of continuing this, which I could sit here and do for ages, you can also see it's much easier for me to knit now that I've got that first row on there, right? And generally by the second or third row, that's when you're going to find out if you had a twisted stitch somewhere. If it wasn't completely straight, like you'll see this big old chunk of fiber will be like this, and it'll be very obvious. So yeah, that is how you knit in the round. Missed all of stretching, got some ice cream instead. No problem, Panda. Yeah, your shoulder. Okay, so instead of continuing to knit in the round, as promised, we're going to go ahead and take a look at a pattern. So let's go on a field trip, my loves. This is a free pattern on Ravelry, so that you're aware. I have plenty of patterns that I've paid for that I could have used, but because I'm showing them to you and sharing them and all of that stuff, I never feel comfortable doing that with paid for patterns. It feels kind of like pirating to some degree, so I never do it. So here we go. I lied. Here we go. There it is. Perfect. This is the leaf lace washcloth. It is made with worsted weight cotton yarn, which is what I've got right here. I don't even know if I have enough, and that's fine. But we're going to go over this together. So this is what a pattern looks like generally. If it's a decent pattern, and even beautiful patterns, they don't always have pictures, but I hope they do. So you've got what it is up here. Generally, you've got your materials or the next section. In this case, we are looking at 1 50-gram ball of double knitting worsted weight machine washable cotton or cotton acrylic blend with approximately 126 yards to 50 grams. So all of that double knitting, so on and so forth, that really isn't important. Worsted weight and cotton are what are important in this. Cotton tells you what type of fabric they want you to create. In this case, it is a dishcloth, so you would want it to be cotton. You don't want it to be wool because it'll felt. And worsted tells you what weight it needs to be. The other part that's really cool on this is it tells you that they used 50 grams that equaled 126 yards, which tells you the exact amount of worsted that they used. You don't have to get that technical about it though. Just find some worsted weight yarn and you're fine. It is super cute. Then right here, they tell you the size. This will be approximately 20 centimeters or 8 inches by 8 inches, which is great. This is them telling you about the one that they made was made in Sonora in the on-day colorway, because a lot of people will want to use the exact same yarn that's used for the pattern. Now, in most patterns, especially with lace, they will have a gauge in this area for you as well. And that's where you can test your gauge. So you would take the knitting needles that they use. By the way, they used a pair of 4mm or US size 6 straight needles. We're going to do it on the round needles and it'll be fine. And these are 7, so I have to change them out. But the idea with the gauges is that you have your size 7 needle, you have your worsted weight yarn, you do your, it says something like 20 stitches by 28 stitches should be a 4x4 square. I'm making this up. So you would test that. You would knit a 20 by 28 row square, and you would go ahead and you would measure that and make sure that it's 4 inches across and 4 inches up. If it's too big, you go down a needle size. If it's too small, you go up a needle size. You just kind of get finicky with it until it works for you. And sometimes it takes a lot of finagling, quite frankly. And sometimes you have to accept the fact that it's not going to be exact. I know that I knit very loose compared to a lot of people. So personally, I can go down a size usually. I don't think I have 6s on me, so we're just going to stick with the 7s since this is just for an example today. So that's the materials. We've talked about the size of the item. If there was a gauge here, we've talked about that. You went to the cabinet and got some Twizzlers. That sounds delicious. So then you get into the nitty gritty. You get into the actual pattern itself. Cast on, you guys have gone over that with me. That's casting on those stitches like we did in the round just now, that long tail cast on. Normally, if there's not a specific cast on that they recommend, you can use whatever cast on is easiest for you. Long tail, the knitting cast on, the cable cast on, you just choose your favorite. Sometimes it won't say cast on, it'll say CO, which stands for cast on. So they say cast on 43 stitches and knit 1 row. So you'll cast those stitches on and knit 1 row across. Slipping the first stitch of every row purlwise. And what they mean by that is that you bring your yarn to the front to slip, and then you slip the stitch over. By bringing the yarn to you for the front, you're slipping the stitch over purlwise as if you had just purled it, but you're not actually knitting or purling the stitch. And the reason they do that on these is because it makes the edges really nice and even. So slipping the first stitch every row purlwise with yarn at back of, they actually have the yarn at the front, the back of the work. So basically you just slide the stitch over onto your needle with the yarn in the back and then continue to knit however they tell you to knit. We'll go over that as soon as I get it on here. Knit 7 rows. So that 7 rows that you're knitting, that's going to be right here. That's your garter stitch right here. And that's your edging. And the reason they're doing that is because that way it won't fold in on itself, because stockinette and lace stuff likes to kind of curl. Why am I having such a hard time with ends today? There's 2 ends here. Oh man. Yes. You sexy, sexy beast of a mess. There we go. Okay, so they want 43 stitches on this, right? I'm not going to do 43 stitches because I'm not really going to do this whole thing. We're going to do... I guess we'll do 43 stitches. Whatever. So, let me see if I can get 43 stitches on here. 1, 2, 3. Anyway, I'll do that here in a second. So here's the leaf lace pattern. Lace patterns come in 2 different ways. They come either written out like this, and you can see that this is just a bunch of abbreviations. What size the yarn is. They absolutely do say what size the yarn is. So that's what this is right here. The washcloth in this photograph was knitted in Barège de France Sonera in the Onday colorway. But up here in materials, they're telling you that it's worsted weight yarn and that they used a 50-gram ball. That was 126 yards of cotton. Another really great trick you can do is, we'll just do this real quickly. So they told me that they used this yarn right here. That's great. I don't know anything about this yarn. So I can come over here to Ravelry. I can click into yarns, which you can't see right now. Can you see it now? Yes. I can click over here into yarns and I can just Control V, paste that in there. And that yarn should pop up. It pops up right here. So it tells me right here that it's a worsted weight yarn, that it's 50% cotton and 50% acrylic. It'll even tell me where I can buy the yarn sometimes. So for me personally, there's nowhere locally. So they tell me to buy it online. It's a knitted pearl. So that is how you, if they don't tell you what weight to use, which in that case, it's a terrible pattern and it should be thrown back at the designer. You can always at least take the name of the yarn, put it in Ravelry's yarn search, and you can find out what that weight is. This is worsted weight yarn in this case. So there's a little tip or trick for you. Hi, JK. What would BOR usually mean in a knitting pattern? David, JK's absolutely right. It's beginning of the round. Okay, so here is your lace pattern, and it looks terrifying because it's just a bunch of abbreviations. But honestly, right here, they have all of those abbreviations written out for you, right in this section right here. They tell you that K equals knit, P equals purl, ST or STS equals stitch and stitches, SL means slip, K2 TOG means knit 2 stitches together, PSSO is a past slip stitch over, so on and so forth. So they have a key right here for you to know what all these abbreviations are. So in this first row, it says RS, which is right side, slip 1 stitch, that's SL1, knit 6, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, knit 3. And then it tells you to repeat from this asterisk, which is right here. So you're going to repeat this section 2 more times. And then at the very end, you'll knit 6 more. That sounds like a lot. It's not, I promise. So that is how you would look at a written out pattern for lace. If you were looking at the actual chart, which is right here, there is also a legend or key for this. It's off to the side usually. It'll tell you what each one of these squares means. So the little V right here means slip that stitch. So it's telling you on this row, and these are always read from the right to the left, and then when you're done with that row, you come from the left to the right. So the odd ones are read right to left, even are read right to left to right. And they try to help you with that because the 1 for row 1 is over on the left hand or right hand side, and the 2 for row 2 is over on the left hand side, just to remind you. So there's a V for the beginning here and a V for the beginning here. They tell you that these little dark dots mean knit when you're on the wrong side of your work. And you can see that those are only on the wrong side. The slashes that are veering to the left to right, these ones right here, the slashes that are going like this, oh, that's my button, those are a slip slip knit, and the slashes that are going the other way are a knit 2 together. And the reason for that is because when you do a knit 2 together, it creates a slant this way, and when you slip slip knit, it creates a slant this way. These circles are always yarn overs, and they look like little holes when you create them, so that makes sense. And then this like little tree thing or claw thing that you can see, This is generally some type of knit 3 together. Yeah, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass over. So you're decreasing by 2 there, and it creates your little treetop. And if you really look at this, you can actually see the pattern in it. You can see that this is the leaf right here. This is the outline of the leaf right here. These little holes in the middle are where there's those holes in the pattern are. I'll show that back up to you at the top. And these little claws up here are the peaks. So if we come back up here and we look at the pattern, here are those slants right here. These little veins right here, those are those holes you were just looking at. And this is that peak. So it looks the same if you know what you're looking at. These are mostly universal, but not 100%. You keep an abbreviation sheet for crochet in your notebook. Brittany, that is brilliant. If you're doing color work patterns, though, it absolutely can change for color work patterns. This is just for lace patterns. I used to write out the shorthand for sure. You don't know what BOR was either until now, and you don't see it listed in this key unless you only list. They will only list it if it's something they're going to use in that pattern. In this case, I don't think they use BOR. They just use RS, which is right side. So that is how you would read this. The only other thing I would point out on a chart is, do you see how this one is red? Do you remember when we were reading this, it said that you had to repeat that section 3 times or 2 more times? This is them telling you to repeat this section however many times they tell you to repeat it. So in this case, with the chart, it says work the lace pattern from the chart, reading the right side odd numbered rows from right to left and wrong side even rows left to right, like we talked about. Work the 16 row chart pattern twice, then work rows 1 through 8 once again. Somewhere in here it should tell you how many times to repeat this though. But you can figure it out from up here. So this gets repeated 1, 2, 3 times. So you would want to do this section once, then do this section again, and then move on to the rest of it, is how that would work out. Okay, that is a lot. I'm aware, and I am so sorry. That was so much information poured at you guys all at once. I think maybe we will work on these for a little bit with you guys, just so that you can see it being done slowly. So I will post this pattern in Discord. If you want to knit this leaf lace washcloth with me, we can work on this together. I can go over your guys' questions on Wednesdays so we can figure out, you know, what's going on there and where you're stuck. So I'm going to start it today with you guys. I didn't know. Oh, that's okay. There's always honestly, a lot of patterns are going to have mistakes on them. So you could have very much been right. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hopefully, of course, I hope I didn't overwhelm you guys. I know it's so much information. Like, it's a lot of information. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know when we would do this on Twitch, like half my viewers would drop when I'd start to explain that stuff. They're like, nope, I'm out. Goodbye. I was like, I get it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to add just a little extra here. So let's go ahead and cast on. And I'm using the sugar and cream or whatever the heck that stuff is. You know, the really inexpensive cotton that you can find. I made so many washcloths out of this for our house. And I love them. I will say that they do get kind of gross after a while, even if you wash them on the reg. And they do eventually fall apart. But they're still fun to make, you know, and they make great gifts too. There's always the VOD so we can watch as many times as we need. That's true. You're a great teacher. You helped me so much with my knitting. Oh, thank you. When you learned to read as a kid, your mom taught you with a mixture of dolly patterns and Stephen King. I am in love with your mother now and I want to marry her. Oh, thank you, Rosie. I'm glad to hear that. I love teaching. You know, if I could make a living at teaching, I would make a living at teaching. But it costs a lot of money and you have to pay a whole lot of bill or student loans off with it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 5. We're at 25. Oh, this is going to be interesting. 7, 28, 29, 30. We got 13 more to go. I don't know if that'll happen. We're going to find out. 1, 2, 3. And now our 10. 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hot damn, that is perfect, actually. That is just the amount of tail that I need. I think I've got all my stitches. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 43. Perfect. So I've done my 43. I've cast on 43 stitches. Now they want me to knit 1 row. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to chart my work. Can I get this stupid knot out of here? I'm going to remind you all that it's 4 minutes until Wheel of Goodies and Goof-em-ups. And we're just going to knit this row real quickly. Oh my gosh, no, not right now. But it smells so good. TK's making flank steak, you guys. So delicious. Now mine is going to be big because I'm working on size 7 needles. But if you guys are interested, do you want me to post this pattern in Discord? It is a free pattern. And do you want to work on it next Wednesday so that you guys can have like your Q&A on it? Like if you work on it through the week and you have questions, you can bring them up next Wednesday and we can talk about them. For your great grandmother. I love it. You didn't even hear a word that was said. You were focused on your blanket. That's okay, little brat. You're officially nerding out. You bought an electric spinning wheel. Matt, oh my gosh, what kind of spinning wheel did you get? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Okay, then yeah, let's do it for sure. Keep going outside to see if I can find a comet. Not seeing it in Arizona. There's a comet? What? Only 4 whole minutes, Moonbow. Okay, then yes, I will post it and I will explain in Discord what we're doing so that you guys can start the pattern, and then when you have questions next week, we can go over them. And I'll try to get past the garter stitch part this week so that you guys, if you're a little too not quite ready to start the lace without seeing me do some of the lace, so that I can do some of the lace with you. Nice, Matt. Oh my gosh. We can be spinning buddies. So excited. JK's excited too, trust me. You need to get a Swift. Oh my gosh. They're fairly inexpensive. Once again, I do recommend the one on Knit Picks. It's the one I have. It's great Swift. They run anywhere between $30 and $75, depending on if you can get one on sale or if you get the black one. But they do frequently have sales, so. And their customer service is pretty great too. Okay, so that's round 1. See, this is way bigger than it should be. I'm knitting on 7s instead of 6s, and I probably could go down to 5s, honestly. So after that, they say slipping the first stitch of every row purlwise with the yarn at back of work, knit 7 rows. So what they mean by that is I need to put my yarn in the back. And instead of knitting this stitch like I normally would, I'm going to slip this stitch to this needle without doing anything to it, but I'm going to slip it purlwise as if I was purling the stitch. So I'm coming in from this side instead is what that means, like so. And I'm just slipping it over to my needle. And then I'm just going to start knitting. And that's all that means. And you just knit across real quickly. About the wheel? What? Yes, of course that you would... No, about the wheel. About him getting a wheel. 100%, that's what it was. It lasted for years and years. You're Swift? Yeah. You made an easy dinner. We had I love tacos. Seriously, I adore tacos. They're delicious. You guys, guess what time it is? That's right. It's time for our final round of Wheel of Goodies and Goof-em-ups. What? I feel like the show has not been on that long. Oh, wait, we had a big old mess up in the beginning. Let's find out who our winner is going to be. You had a big bowl of mashed potatoes with dairy-free cheese for dinner. I had whole wheat toast, like Dave's Killer Bread Power Seed Toast. I love it so much. With avocado and a hard-boiled egg on it. I'll probably have some of whatever he's having right now afterwards, but I just needed something to hold me over, basically. And that's my favorite snack. You're going to try continental. Trina, that's so exciting. Lillian Chan. What? Are you on here? You're not on here. Congratulations. You are our final contestant this evening on the Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. So exciting. Get your butt out here, Wheel. Hello, Wheel. You've been so kind tonight. I think we should just keep up the kindness and the sharing, because sharing is caring. That's what the Care Bears used to tell me. Anybody ever watch that Care Bear Nutcracker when they were a kid? Because I watched that thing all the time. And now I look back at it, I'm like, those rats were terrifying. Okay, you guys know what is all up on this thing. I'm not even going to go over it. It's got shit on it. It's got good shit. It's got bad shit. Let's spin. Okay. Oh my god, it's a dad joke. We're getting two tonight, you guys. Hot damn, you get a dad joke.
Congratulations, you're a winner!
I have a owie. Hold on one second. You were absolutely a winner, but I have an owie going on here. Like something is poking me. Oh well, we'll take care of it later. Okay, so. Oh, great way to end the show. Wheel, thank you very much. We're going to get this dad joke going.
Good night and goodbye.
Wheel, you sound like a dad. Okay, are you guys ready? Dad joke number 2. Let me turn this all down. What's up, buddy? I've got a joke for you. What did the shirt say to the pants? What's up, my britches? No, don't use that word. Don't. Particularly in front of your mother. And we're back, guys. What did you think? What'd you think? I mean, it's cheese to the max, but I can't help myself. Okay, before we head on into show and tell, as always, I really just want to give a quick shout out to all of our patrons. So let's just pop that right up. Here we go. So once again, thank you so much to all of our patrons. Our little litter pile is growing by the day, and that's so exciting, you guys. If you don't see your name up here, it's because I haven't had a chance to update it since this morning. But if you're a patron, you get so many cool things. You get early access to box sets, to grab bags. You get extra little shows like the Fleece to Finish project. You get flash sales. We do flash sales frequently when we rotate a color out. So each tier has a different percentage that they get off. I think it's up to 40% for Hazel's Heroes. It's insane. Yeah, there's just so many different options, and you get special yarn in those box sets as well. And once we hit 100 patrons, you guys will have a patron-exclusive colorway that will always be available. So if you want to be a patron, head on over to patreon.com/BossKitty and sign up today. Hello, my best patron of all. Hi, what's up? Are we going to do this? Well, hello, Miss Gracie. If you haven't met her, this is my little lovey Gracie. She is my familiar. She is my best friend. And TK is okay with that. He understands how that works. Can you come up? No, you're just going to sit right here. Nobody can see your pretty face over there. You cannot chew on that. No, that's not for chewing. Come here. Let's just real quickly. Oh, you're so much heavier than your sissy. And you're getting so big. Hi, why are you doing this today? Just be a good girl. Just be a good girl for a second. Hi, I know. You want food, don't you? You want so much food. This is Gracie. Gracie will be 2 in March. It's crazy to me. And she's a riot, but she is not feeling it right now. You know, she's been kind of tuckered out since we got the kid. Zuzu runs her ragged. In a good way. I mean, she gets some serious exercise. Okay, you guys, let's get this started. I know what you're all waiting for, because I'm waiting for it too.
Time to clean up.
Yeah! Show and tell! Okay, so we're starting with Megan Eldrina, your very first pair of crocheted socks. Congratulations, these look fantastic. She's getting so big. Would you ever explain your process of how to design your dye colors? Like, do you have a notebook? I can absolutely go over that with you, Trina, for sure. I do have a notebook, but I will go into the depth in detail, not on what's in the notebook, but on how I come up with stuff like that next Wednesday for sure. AJ Crochet Goddess, first time making a shirt. It goes with a pink bucket hat and shoulder bag I made a short time ago for show and tell. Oh, yeah, that's right. AJ, this looks fantastic. So that's the back. Here's the front. I think maybe I would assume this is the front. I like the random hearts on it. I think that I really like the randomness of it, and that this heart up here has a little white reflection on it. Like you're familiar too. Yep. She just gets me. We bonded the moment she came home. Elizabeth 84, working on a triple strand twin-sized blanket my 5-year-old requested. Oh, that is one lucky 5-year-old. What a beautiful blanket. So the triple strand, I see the color changes. Are you holding different colors at different times, or do you just have a colorway that's in there that happens to be kind of a gradient ombre? I'm just curious. It's gorgeous and it looks so cozy. It is an adorable shirt, right? Lillian Chan, a few minutes ago, I posted this with completed hashtags, but I'm unable to just let things be. I'm thinking some kind of popped varsity color. What? It's so good. Yes, do a popped varsity. Yes, it needs a collar. You need a popped collar. The colors in this scream for a popped collar. In fact, you should put 8 popped collars on this. I love it. It's so, you guys just make me want to make a hexagon cardi so bad. They're so good looking. Emma, blanket update. I frogged and switched to moss stitch. I cannot garter stitch another row of garter stitch. I feel ya. I love moss stitch anyway. This looks beautiful. I'm still really digging these colors. I love these green and blue together. And the yellow and gold over here. These are great colors for a blanket. Cute cuffs, right? You should make a hexacardi. We all should. I have yarn that would... And it's one of the make-along options, Jinxie, so you could definitely do that and get in on that. Goth Emo Raver, had to dye my hair for an interview tomorrow. Sadly, bright red hair makes it hard to find jobs. Boo. That's what I say to that is boo. But your hair looks great. Seriously. I feel you, though. I almost didn't get my Nux just for that reason. And then I was like, you know what? I'm 40. They're not offensive. There's nothing scary about them. If they have a problem, then I don't want that job. Before I go any further, in Discord, at the very top of all the channels, is a new channel called Come Here First. Go read it, guys. There you go. We'll be adding to it as it goes, but it kind of gives you an idea of what's going on and how to navigate that kind of thing for new people. So if you head over to our Discord, check out Come Here First. Okay. And then this is your 13-year-old husky, Dakota, next to the blanket your partner got you for Xmas. You have the best partner ever, because that is an amazing blanket. I used to have a Jack Skellington pillowcase, and I snuggled the shit out of that thing. I loved it so much. Hello, beautiful husky puppy. You're so pretty, and you do not look a day over, honestly, like 8. You do not look 13. It's a good-looking puppy. Oh my gosh, it's reversible. What? No, it's not. Get out of here. That's a lie. That's not the same thing. Oh, wait a second. I found what the pokey thing was. It's a piece of wood. I don't know how that happened. Guitar Nut. My first sock, then a kitty blanket for Cheddar. Congratulations on your first sock. So exciting. Seriously. All around. And hello, kitty Cheddar. You're so freaking adorable. This cat always looks so serious. Like, Cheddar always looks serious. And I love it. Like, I live for Cheddar's seriousness face. It's so good. Miss Monster. Almost finished the Cal for Best Roommate and Blast from the Past unfinished Make-Along Descent. Oh my gosh, the Descent Cal. You consider frogging it, but now you're thinking you'll finish it. Also, all in BKDK. So this is in Forest Park. This is beautiful. I hope your roommate loves it. Miss Monster, it looks lovely. And then this was one of the make-alongs that we did some time ago. It was the Descent cowl, and we did both the crocheted version and the knitted version. And this is also incredibly lovely. Is that, I think that is Tales from St. Olaf and Clockwork. That's my guess. I could be wrong, though. Machibi, working on a feather stitch blanket. Got to use my Swift and winder for the first time the other night. And last is a doodle my daughter did on her arm with markers. And I like it so much, I had to take a picture before she washed it off. thinking about making this a tattoo for myself. I want to know how you liked your Swift and your ball winder, by the way. Michibi, tell me all about it. Also, this is gorgeous. Why do you guys, how are you so good at putting colors together, you guys? Seriously, it's so, all of these are so good. Oh, look at all that beautiful, beautiful yarn that was just caked up like that. And yeah, this picture is the cutest. Your kid is very talented, and definitely get that as a tattoo. Oh my God, I want to get that as a tattoo, and I don't even like clowns. It's really cute though. Crochet Mom. First, I have 4 skeins of each of these colors with no idea what to make. Next is a sweater that I made on. Last is a throwback to when Stinky Kirk was a baby. Okay, so yeah, well, really it depends on how many yards you have here and what weight the yarn is. I would recommend looking on a site like Ravelry or something and putting the yardage and, you know, put your parameters in. Look up the yarn and see what other people are making with it. You can also put the parameters in where you're looking for patterns that use up this much yardage, whatever you have, and that use this type of yarn, whatever weight it is. That's usually a good place to start, and at least gives you some inspiration. They're very beautiful. I love this sweater so much. This is the one you shared with us last time too, right? The sleeves on it are phenomenal. And look at this teeny tiny, you guys. Oh, kittens are the cutest. They're so good. Soot and Brass Monkey. Man, I was off on both of them. I fail. Jinxie Doll, my D&D character, poet. He's a Way of Mercy monk and a total himbo. I love him so much. The artist, Sleepy Studio, absolutely nailed his face and expression. I am loving that you are sharing your D&D character. This makes me so happy. Mine is right over here. Where is she? She's off to the side over here on the wall. This is so great. I love it so much. And now I want to know all about your character. A finished baby blanket in Premier Colorway Geranium. Love it. Beautiful. I'm digging the random flashes of pink and blue in this. It looks so cozy. And what you used to make the soap is, oh, this is what you used to make. The soap is called Leviathan, and it's based on the creatures from Supernatural. It's a very foresty scent with hints of lilac, musk, and amber. I binged all 15 seasons of Supernatural one season. Like, while I was working, I just couldn't get enough of it. I'd never watched it before. This is, okay, first of all, the soap is beautiful. It also sounds like it smells amazing. But I really like it when soap is pretty. I know that's a weird thing to say, but there's just something about pretty things, like things that are aesthetically pleasing to the eye, right? That you want to buy them, even though you're going to use them up and everything. He's super adorable. Panda, some recent paintings I've completed. I love your paintings so much. I love the hills in this one, and all the, like, your use of color in this is so good. This one I've been staring at. It's so amazing. Like, I want to buy it from you. That's how much I love it. I'm fascinated with this eye. I feel like there's a lot going on here. Man, these little swirly things. Oh, it's so good. The eyelashes, though, I think have to be my favorite part. I like that you've got some highlights on them over on this side. It's just so good. This is really beautiful. All you need is love. And they're little heart flowers. Oh, it's so good. And then we've also got this scenery. Oh my gosh, Panda, these are beautiful. Thank you for sharing. San Diego, progress on my Christmas cardigan. My Christmas catigan. Additional demon cats are coming out to play. Oh my gosh, they're the demon cats, you guys. They're so good. Oh my gosh. This is so good. I love it. And really, this color is just coming along fantastically. Da Bun Buns for 20. 2 cows I finally finished for my mom. Those colors are fire together. Literally, they're the color of fire, but they look so good with your hair. Like, everything about this is so perfect. And I love your mushroom shirt. It just, there's too much going on in this picture that I absolutely adore. Oh, this one looks nice and cozy. I prefer the other cow, but this one looks super, super cozy. Demon cats are adorable. They are. Zuzu's a demon cat. JK Knits. Black River blanket shawl started for our road trip. Thank you for the pattern again. You are welcome. She's one of the patterns that she won for Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. The yarn is alpaca from my stash, and then Ishani is modeling my colorwork cat sock out of Not My Cat and Tabby Cat yarn colors. So needed my redhead to model. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. I love the yarn. I really like when alpaca's a heavier weight. It's so warm and just delightful. You can barely see this on. Oh my gosh, the color is almost spot on. That is nuts. Wow, my mind is blown. You guys, what a great show and tell as always. The second one is made of Kobu and it's super breathable. Love it. They really are, Eska. You guys are so amazing. I adore all of you to bits. So just a quick reminder, we are here on Monday and Wednesdays, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, we're trying really hard to reach that 1,000 subscribers. Once we do, TK is going to give you guys a whole entire craft hole, which is epic, seriously. So make sure that you share with your friends, share with your family, share with your knit pals and crochet pals, fiber artist pals, and, you know, make sure that you've subscribed as well. If you're not a patron and you're interested in that, head over to patreon.com/bosskitty. Definitely sign up today. We're getting ready to do these grab bags. We've got a box set coming out. We're still doing the Fleece to Fiber project. It's a lot of fun, and we're going to continue to add more new stuff to it. I adore all of you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Get out there and play some D&D or whatever tabletop role-playing games you play. Get out there and knit. If you're starting on this washcloth, I cannot wait to see them and hear all of your questions next Wednesday. Until Monday, my loves, have a great weekend. And as always, happy crafting. Good night.